You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at 5:30.
Thousands of faculty with Ontario's public colleges could walk off the job on Friday if a deal is not reached between the union representing workers in management.
And many students are concerned over the potential disruptions to their learning. Our Brittany Rosen is outside of Seneca College with more on this story. Brittany, what's the latest on this labor dispute?
Hi, Tracy. Well, the College Employer Council says it is urging OPSU, which represents roughly 16,000 faculty in colleges across the province, to return to the bargaining table. And if a deal isn't reached by Friday, it would mean students that attend colleges like Seneca, where we are, would experience further disruptions to their education roughly 1 month before the end of the semester. Negotiations over the collective agreement between the two parties have been ongoing since September. Talks broke down last fall, and the organizations have engaged in formal bargaining ever since.
They would not move on anything related to workload, precarious work. We've 75% of our people who operate on short-term contracts that they have to reapply for every semester.
The CEC says that OPSU should know that what they're demanding is limited by current legislation for public sector employees.
Unfortunately, they've left those demands on the table. There's about 4 or 5 of them that we've said since July that the mediator confirmed would not be acceptable, and they're insisting upon pursuing those.
Still, OPSU is taking a firm stance when it comes to these two demands, that the CEC complete negotiations on faculty priority issues and refer outstanding issues to binding interest arbitration. Members have also expressed concerns about a potential lockout, but the CEC says that would not happen.
It's absolutely unreasonable. We have said consistently and repeatedly since November we will never lock them out.
Among those that could be picketing Friday, full-time professors, librarians, and counselors.
Since December, we've been on what's called work to rule. So rather than go out on a picket line in December, we wanted to make sure that we were limiting the impact on students.
But inevitably, students will be caught in the middle if a walkout ensues.
It honestly sucks. And I think that the president should address this immediately, because for whatever reason they are striking is valid.
Teachers do deserve a break, but not the way it's happening now, because we're almost end of the semester too. So it'll be better if we keep it the way it is now.
I've heard from students and from parents who are very upset. Students cannot afford a strike at this time. They're finally back in the classroom.
And Jill Dunlop, who you just heard from, was at Queen's Park today, really reinforcing that message to get these two parties back to the bargaining table, because if this strike ensues, it's likely that hundreds of thousands of college students will be impacted. I'll send it back to you.
Brittany, thank you.
At Oakville Sheridan College, fourth-year media student Carson Flemons, one of many feeling the end-of-semester pinch.
Well, we're already stressed. It's our thesis films. We have our thesis projects. Many students are in the same boat where we're all being pushed to the brink, essentially.
Now the threat of a strike by OPSU's college faculty members is sparking major concerns for thousands of students on the verge of graduating.
I was looking at hopefully going right into the work. I have a couple opportunities already offered up to me, but if it ends up having to be extended, I might have to delay these opportunities or not accept the jobs, which isn't ideal for me.
Worries about possible extra costs, job prospects, and visa extensions are being heard by student association heads at other colleges too.
It's been a mix of emotion, frustration, anger, sadness. We cannot even be a part of this conversation. If you want to strike, you should be also talking to the people who actually fund this organization and give us a seat so you can hear our opinions.
Imagine the last 2 years, how they have been. It's so many unknowns, stressful. It's no in-person learning, or if there is very minimal in-person learning. It's always so much going on in the world.
As for the issues involved from the union's perspective, the decades-old formula calculating preparation time, workload, and job protections high on their list.
We are not arguing over money or wages and benefits at all. There's no disagreement on that. If we were in this for money, that would be one thing. We're not. What we're looking for are improvements to the quality of education.
OPSU Bargaining Unit Chair J.P. Hornick says the unit has been working to rule for 3 months. A point of contention between the union and the College Employer Council, the body negotiating on behalf of Ontario's 24 public colleges, is how a deal can be settled given differences. Hornick saying they've been pushing to send all the issues to binding arbitration without luck.
No tricks, no hiding anything. Send it to an expert third-party arbitrator. All they have to do is agree. If they say yes, there's no strike.
Graham Lloyd is the CEO of the council. He says they wanted a 2-year extension of the existing contract with 1% annual salary increases and agreed for a review on workload issues.
We want to provide certainty for the students. College management has always wanted to provide some certainty because of these economic times.
He called many of the asks from the union hard to meet, pushing for an arbitration process where someone would pick one side's proposal over the other. Lloyd encouraged meeting again and tried to dispel concern there could be a lockout.
Management will never lock them out. We need to get these students through. We need to give them some security.
City News contacted Ontario College Minister Jill Dunlop to ask what the province is doing and if legislation might be used to end a potential strike. No answer to that last question, but a spokesperson encouraged both sides to reach a deal to keep students in class. Meanwhile, these messages for all involved.
We have to avoid a strike. We must. Students must finish their semester with no further disruptions.
And know that you both have different asks at this point, but students are the ones that are suffering.
In Toronto for City News, I'm Nick Westall.
To move closer to a possible strike by Ontario College faculty later this week. 16,000 faculty members who are part of OPSU could walk out on Friday. Now, they've been on a work to rule campaign and are now prepared to escalate that to a full strike. CB24 spoke with the CEO of the College Employer Council about just what the faculty is demanding.
What remains on the table now are indeed some of those outstanding demands. And to answer your question directly, the two of them as it pertains to prep time and evaluation time, or time that they want when courses are online, they violate Bill 124 as well. And in fact, we're reaching out to them later today to confirm that. We have legal opinion and we have a statement and letter from the Treasury Board that actually states that the current proposals are violate that legislation.
Now, both sides say they would accept arbitration, but they don't agree on the type of arbitration to use.